So it's official, the first Cybertrucks have been delivered. And overall, so far, it looks like the Tesla Cybertruck is living up to all its hype. And we'll talk a little bit more about price at the end of this video, because that is one area that is going to affect demand a little bit. But overall, the truck looks to be very amazing. However, the reveal event was pretty light on details overall. So in this video, I want to highlight 10 amazing Cybertruck details and or features that you may have missed. I'm John, and this is Cleanerwatt. This first feature is what Tesla calls Powershare. And this is actually really exciting because this is the first time that a Tesla has had bi-directional charging. Not only does the Cybertruck has outlets, which I'll talk about shortly, but the Cybertruck can also be used to back up your home's power. According to Tesla's website, the Cybertruck can output, when connected to your home system, up to 11.5 kilowatts of continuous power. However, do note, in order to be able to connect this to your home, there is some additional hardware that needs to be purchased and installed. But nonetheless, this is a pretty amazing feature because this allows you to access the over 100 kilowatt battery pack built into the Cybertruck, estimated 123 kilowatt hour battery pack. And to be able to use this to power your home is quite amazing. And hopefully more Teslas in the future will get this feature. Beyond the ability to back up your home, the Tesla Cybertruck also includes 5 AC outlets. It includes 2 120 volt outlets in the cabin of the truck. It includes 2 120 volt outlets in the back bed of the truck, and also in the rear bed of the truck, a single 240 volt 40 amp outlet. When it comes to the power rating of these outlets, according to Tesla's website, this outlet system can put out 9.6 kilowatts of continuous power. That's pretty impressive and matches the Ford F-150 Lightning's max output for its outlets. Feature number 2 is the range extender. I'm actually surprised Elon did not talk about this during the delivery event because this is actually pretty exciting. The dual motor all-wheel drive version of the truck does offer an estimated 340 miles of range, and I assume that's once again equipped with a 123 kilowatt hour battery pack, which is quite impressive. And that's more than was promised back in 2019, because back in 2019, Tesla promised that the dual motor all-wheel drive version of the truck would offer 300 plus miles. So I was expecting in the lower 300s, but 340 is very impressive. However, Tesla's website mentions that a range extender is available, and with a range extender option, that boosts the range to over 470 miles. Now, when this was first noticed, since it wasn't mentioned at the event, there was really a lot of uncertainty about where this pack would be located. But Drew Baglino on X.com clarified that it would be a toolbox-sized battery against the back of the bed. And indeed, you can see this picture here on Tesla's website of the range extender battery right there installed at the back of the bed. When it comes to my estimates for the kilowatt hour size of this pack, if 123 kilowatt hours gives the truck 340 miles of range, that equates to approximately 2.76 miles per kilowatt hour. So my estimate is that this range extender pack will be somewhere around 47 to 50 kilowatt hours, and very likely 50 kilowatt hours in size, and will likely cost somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000. Obviously, a roughly 50 kilowatt hour extended battery pack there will add to the weight of the truck and reduce the truck's payload capacity. But since it has a payload capacity of 2,500 pounds, it will still be sufficient even with that battery intact. And in addition, do keep in mind that since this pack is so heavy, it's not going to be something that the end user can just easily pull out and take out of the truck once installed. It's going to be heavy, so it's going to take special machines to go ahead and lift this. So it's probably going to be something that once you get it installed, you leave it. You don't just take it in and out. Maybe Tesla will have their mobile service teams with lifts that will be able to take it in and out if you only wanted it there for some parts of the time. But nonetheless, that's unclear yet. But keep in mind, this is going to be heavy. Feature number 3 is extract mode. And I thought it was actually kind of funny that Tesla calls this mode the exact same thing as what the GMC Hummer has, extract mode. Now, extract mode in the GMC Hummer is what it sounds like. If you're off-roading, you can set the system's air suspension to its highest level, and that allows you to get over obstacles like off-roading, gives you a little bit extra height for the vehicle's suspension. Now, Elon did mention during the Cybertruck event that the truck has 17 inches of ground clearance, but he didn't specifically mention extract mode, which is what this feature is specifically called on the Tesla website. You can see here that Tesla lists the ground clearance at 17.44 inches in extract mode. So do be aware that when driving down the road, the truck will be lower to the ground in normal driving mode. And very likely on the highway, it'll even go down a little bit lower for improved aerodynamics. When it comes to how 17.44 inches of max ground clearance compares to the competition, you can see this is even more than the Hummer EV, even with extract mode on that vehicle. And it's more than the Rivian R1T, the Ford Raptor R, and the Ram TRX. Also, as Elon Musk emphasized at the delivery event, the Cybertruck has a completely flat bottom. And unlike other trucks, gas-burning trucks, diesel trucks, it doesn't have a rear differential sticking down, which eliminates some of the ground clearance. So this is impressive, and the Cybertruck should have plenty of ground clearance for off-roading purposes. Feature number 4 is all of the extra accessories that Tesla already has available or will be available soon for the Cybertruck. If you go to shop.tesla.com, you can see that Tesla has a number of Cybertruck accessories that can already be ordered. They have the base camp tent, paint film wraps, a tailgate ramp, all-weather floor liners, storage bins and trays, roof crossbars, bed storage accessories, a spare tire and toolkit, snow chains, and also an air compressor tire repair kit. Feature number 5 is the bioweapon defense mode. And this is, of course, a feature that's available on other Tesla vehicles, but it's something that, of course, is also available on the Cybertruck. With this bioweapon defense mode, the Cybertruck has a hospital-grade HEPA filtration system built in that, according to Tesla's website, is able to filter from 99.97% of airborne particles. So if you live in an area with a lot of smog or an area where you get a lot of forest fires, etc., this is going to be a great feature to keep the cabin air very clean. Feature number 6 is all of the cargo space that you get with the Cybertruck. The Cybertruck, of course, has a front trunk, and the rear bed or the rear vault of the truck does have that tonneau cover that comes down and closes and locks, so you have that locked storage. But under the bed of the truck, there is a small compartment that lifts up that has hidden storage. But beyond the front trunk and the rear vault and that hidden storage underneath, if you fold up the rear seats of the Cybertruck, you have, as Tesla mentions, an extra 54 cubic feet of storage inside the truck. And in addition, since Tesla designed a roof rack system for this truck, you'll be able to transport items on the top of the truck as well. Feature number 7 is really 2 features. The fact that the Cybertruck has rear wheel steering, which of course has been talked about quite a bit in the past. And as Elon Musk mentioned, with this 4-wheel steering, this allows the Tesla Cybertruck to have a tighter turning radius than the Model S, which is very impressive. But really excitingly, the Tesla Cybertruck does have a steer-by-wire system. Tesla previously submitted a patent application for this technology, and I talked about that in a previous video, but it's exciting to see this technology actually implemented in a production vehicle, the Cybertruck. With the steer-by-wire system, this gives the Cybertruck a variable steering ratio. So when you're driving at very low speeds, when you turn the steering yoke or steering wheel just a little bit, it turns the exterior wheels a little bit more. Then at high speeds, it reacts a little differently. This variable steering ratio is especially useful since the Cybertruck has a steering yoke instead of a traditional steering wheel. Feature number 8 is the high voltage and low voltage architecture of the Tesla Cybertruck. This may not seem that exciting to some of you, but this is actually very exciting because Tesla moved from the traditional 12 volt low voltage architecture to 48 volts. And what this allowed Tesla to do is greatly reduce the thickness of the wires in the Cybertruck, which helps save cost and weight. As Pete Bannon explained at Tesla's Investors Day this year, quote, "The demand for power in the car has been steadily increasing to the point where we now have pretty large wires to drive over 200 amps of current around the car, which increases the mass and cost." According to this chart from Tesla, around 1960, the automotive industry switched from a 6-volt architecture to a 12-volt architecture, and since then, it has stayed at 12 volts despite all the electric components that have been added to the vehicle, once again requiring thicker wires in the system. In order to understand how increasing the voltage allows you to have smaller wires, there's a simple equation, and this simple equation can be rearranged several ways. But if you want to calculate amps, amps equals watts divided by volts. So for instance, if you have an electrical system that requires 2,500 watts of output, and you're running that with a 12-volt system, that would mean you would need to be running that system at over 208 amps. However, if you had a 48-volt system running 2,500 watts, that would only require a little bit over 52 amps of current. So dropping from over 200 amps to a little bit over 50 amps, of course, greatly reduces the amount of current and allows you to shrink down the thickness of those wires, which once again is a huge benefit to efficiency and cost. And hopefully other automakers will switch over now for other vehicles. So that's pretty impressive. Now moving over to the high voltage architecture. For the first time, a Tesla vehicle has an 800 volt high voltage system. In a similar way that moving from 12 volts to 48 volts in the low voltage system allowed for thinner wires, when you move to an 800 volt high voltage system, this allows for the high voltage wires to be thinner and allows for faster charging. And according to this post on X.com from Telos of EV, the Cybertruck's max charging rate apparently is around 350 kilowatts. Now, do note that the Tesla Cybertruck will still be able to charge at Teslas like, say, for example, V3 and V2 superchargers, which are running at a 400 volt output. This was clarified by Drew Baglino on X.com when he wrote, quote, "Pack splits into two to charge natively on existing 400 volt charging infrastructure, no costly, lossy booster required." Feature number 9 is the Tesla Cybertruck front light bar, which, from what I can tell, is an add-on accessory and doesn't come standard with the truck. But I wanted to call out the fact that, as Tesla points out on their website, this light bar is capable of illuminating your path up to 525 yards, which will be very useful in off-road situations and obviously won't be legal for use on public roads. Lastly, for number 10, and this is a surprise to me, Tesla does plan to offer a rear-wheel drive 250-mile range version of the Cybertruck in 2025. And the reason this surprises me because it appeared like, based on rumors, that the rear-wheel drive option of the Cybertruck was not going to exist, that Tesla had dropped that completely. But at least for now, it looks like Tesla plans to offer that truck. Now, lastly, I want to address the pricing of the Cybertruck. Elon did hint multiple times in past conference calls that the Cybertruck was going to be expensive. And of course, a lot of things have gone up over the years since 2019. So I expected that the Cybertruck would be more expensive, and the pricing really falls into kind of what I expected of the Cybertruck based on Elon's comments, but it's more expensive than I would have hoped, and it's going to keep a lot of people from being able to purchase the Cybertruck for now. The final pricing of the Cybertruck is $21,000 to $30,000 more than what was announced in 2019. While I do believe these prices are in line with all the features and what you get with the Cybertruck, since it's so much more than what was promised before, and since interest rates are high right now, this is going to keep a lot of people who reserved Cybertrucks from being able to afford them. I still believe that the Cybertruck is going to sell quite well, and it's worth the price that Tesla has listed here. But once again, it's quite a bit more expensive than it was initially announced to be. Nonetheless, I'd love to know what you think about all this in the comments section below. Do let me know what you think about the pricing and some of the features that I talked about, or some of the features that I missed. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below. I'd also like to say once again, thank you to all of those of you who support me through Patreon. Your support makes a big difference and really does help make these videos possible. If you'd like to find out more about how you can support my work through Patreon, I will put a link in the video description. Thank you so much.